Hello, everyone. Ruby is back with her public speaking masterclass. Warm welcome to everyone who's watching live at this moment. This has been planned for quite some time, but since I had been having activities, so we couldn't do it on an earlier stage. But here we are today, live, talking and sharing the magic mantra of public speaking. So I guess you all have been fine, trying to keep safe, trying to keep healthy because of what is going around across the world. It's not a very good state of affairs. So with our webinars, with our talk sessions, we are trying to make over by giving opportunity to everyone to be a part of something that they will definitely enjoy. We just wait for some more people to join in. Lots and lots of people across the world have shown interest, and I'm very happy seeing you all here live with me and sharing the secret of public speaking. I'm sure some of you are planning this as a career. Some of you are planning it just because you want to take it as a new hobby, to discover a new skill, learn a new skill. It's great. Just do something that gives you ultimate happiness and makes you feel comfortable with what you are doing. I'm very happy that today we are more and more people coming in and asking questions. What can we do? What are the areas where public speaking is handy? What are the fields? What are the scopes where public speaking is handy? So I will be sharing you practically anything and everything where you feel you can use public speaking. I'll just set up the system so that I can see your live questions as well. I'll be answering your questions. You can be using the chat window that is next to you to ask the questions live. Like this, it's not towards the end that you're asking questions. You're asking the questions at the same time, and getting the answers, getting the queries answered instantly. So just give me 1 second that I set this up. All right, I see lots and lots of people joining in right now. Okay, get set, go. So it is something which is really giving adrenaline. Even though I'm online, I am on a virtual platform, not on a real platform, but still I have the adrenaline going boom, boom. It's very normal. When you do public speaking, all these things are very, very normal because they give you the instant rush of blood, instant rush of excitement, and a lot of things at the same time. So what you're going through is very, very natural. What you're going through is very, I would say, that goes with the people, even though who have been speaking for so many years, even they feel the pressure, even they feel the excitement when they are live. Yes. So friends, it's not something that even if a person has been speaking for years together, he or she is not nervous. No, even that person is nervous. But with the skills, with certain what you call qualities or certain areas, we discover how we can camouflage those things. I'll be sharing with you those things, some of the secret mantras, as I call it, how you can be confident on the stage. So let me just start with looking at the screen in terms of what you are having and what questions you might have. I need to keep it, little bit handy, that I'm able to take it and answer it at the same time, and we don't experience much of a lag. All right. So it is important when we talk about public speaking, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that makes you feel comfortable? What is it that gives you excitement? What is it that makes you feel, yes, I can go for it? It is not something difficult. It is not something that I can't overcome. So it's very important, especially when you are facing these kind of questions, when you are facing these kind of queries, how to combat public speaking. So in here, it is important. As I said, it's very, very important to discover the things, to discover the areas that give you excitement, that gives you a sense of achievement, a sense of understanding that, yes, I can do it. It is not something Herculean. It is not something impossible. So public speaking, as we say, is something that people inherit. They're born with it. People who like to talk, is one category. People who like to speak on anything under the sun is another category. But there are people who have ideas, who have inner, I would say, desire to speak, but they're not able to do that because they're scared of masses. They're scared of the public. So public speaking is something that now we say can be learned as well. You're not, even if you're not born with that skill, you can learn it. You can go over it, think over it, camouflage it by learning the basics, which make you comfortable, which make you confident. So I'll be sharing my screen soon with you to make you understand what is public speaking and how it is. It's a great activity that makes you comfortable and it makes you feel confident of whatever you are doing. All right. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Okay, here you go. The art of public speaking. What exactly do you understand by public speaking? And here I am discovering, here I am talking to you, even though I have done so many talks, but still I try to challenge myself. I try to give it in such a way that I understand the skills, I understand the things, and make people comfortable who are next to me, make people comfortable who are with me at that point of time. It is not something that you can't understand. It's not that something that is too difficult to understand. It is just something that you need to work over it and understand it bit by bit. So in here, as I said, you can feel free to use the chat window to talk to me, to tell me if you have any queries in the middle, so that we can keep on going and keep on understanding the basics of how it works. So in here, it is very important when we are understanding the life of going public, when we are understanding the basics of going public, it is very important to know what exactly is public speaking. Why are we doing public speaking? Is it for specific purpose? Is it to inform the audiences? Basically, when we talk about the purpose, these are the four main purposes which I think are the core of public speaking. So one is inform. That is, you want to inform people about something. There is some info that you want to share with the people. Second could be educate. You want to inform about some new things that are coming up. And at the same time, you want to educate the masses. It could be education, like right now we are having COVID. So telling people, wash your hands, cover your face, use masks in public transports, keep distance. So any kind of information that you are giving, you can be educating at the same time. So when you are giving information, you are doing a different kind of public speaking. When you are educating the masses, you are doing different, like you're having banners, you are having posters, you are having something, sometimes audio visual, so that people see, understand, reflect, and then come back again to you to understand the fuller concept. The third purpose of public speaking could be to inspire people. You are doing public speaking because you want to inspire people with your motivational quotes. You want to inspire people with health, fitness, about medical things, about scientific things, anything that you feel is something relevant. You talk about those things, you share your ideas, and people feel inspired. They look at you as a role model. They look at you as someone they would like to be in the future, and that inspires them. And the fourth is communicate. We are using public speaking for communication. So right now, if you see, for some period of time, we had practically no schools running, no colleges. Everything was via virtual network. So we were communicating. It was not that communication had come to a stop. We were using public speaking in terms of informing the masses, in terms of telling the masses what is happening. How can we do this? How can we do that? So it is something that you use in terms of understanding, educating, inspiring the audiences, and of course, talking to the people. Like when people are doing, like when the government is coming up with new policies, they're communicating, they're telling, this is what we want to do. they have press releases, they cover through magazines. These days, it's via social media. So this is the main purpose of any kind of public speaking. Now we are going to see what are the 6 P's of public speaking. The 6 P's, I have derived it in terms of like how I see public speaking. So this is Ruby's way of illustrating. As I said, I like explaining people with acronyms, with short forms, or with 4 P's, 6 P's, 7 C's, and things like that. So today we are going to be discussing about 6 P's of public speaking. What are the 6 P's of public speaking and how do we understand them? So in here, if you see, when we talk about 6 P's, it's the very first one, the person, the audience, the people around you, the power punch, which is the third P. The fourth P is the pitch, the voice, how you want to inform the masses, how you want to tell the people about what you're trying to show, what you're trying to gain attention towards. Then fifth P is your place. Where are you? Where exactly are you? Which is the platform that you're using? And last is performance. The overall thing, how it is going, how it is happening, what needs to be done, how it can be done, that is your overall performance. So it's very important when we see people understanding, when we see people having a grasp of 6 P's, they understand it in a way that people relate to it instantly. Hello, Fahim. Hi, Nidhi. Hello, Imam. Great to see you all. Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you so much. So it is important for the people to understand that when we know each P properly, we are able to understand, we are able to elaborate in a much, much better manner. So let's go about understanding each P. So the very first P. In here, the very first P is the person, that is you. You as a person. What can you do to make public speaking fun? What can you do to make it interesting? What can you do to make it understandable that people enjoy what you are talking about, how you're relating to? At the same time, I'm trying to see the questions as well, if there are some questions happening here, so that I can answer those questions and I can see. All right. So in here, it is very, very important to have a good grasp of the information. You need to understand as a person how you can relate with the information. So practice, this is one of the things that I tell my students and also the people, practice in front of the mirror. Mirror therapy is really great. It makes you comfortable, it makes you confident. And at the same time, if you are able to record and watch yourself, that's another amazing technique, which is possible these days because of your phones, because of various video techniques that you can record your own speeches and time it. If you're going to a place where it is timed, or if you're going and talking at a place where they say that you have 10 minutes, you just have 10 minutes to give the presentation or a sales pitch or, whatever, as I said, whatever is the purpose. So sometimes you see people keep on talking, and you're like, oh, time is running out. So that's one of the things when you time your speeches, when you are doing time management by recording and observing, that's a great thing. You're acting as your own critic because you see what is best for you. And at the same time, you're able to see what you didn't do very well. So like this, you can work on your own challenges. So to some people, it might sound a little crazy that you are talking to yourself in the mirror. But believe me, guys, it's really a great technique in order to understand yourself, in order to understand your things, and then go about it. So time your presentation, watch and record the presentation, be your own critic, and come on, keep on setting it as a challenge and keep going. Then we move to the other side, which is very important with you as a person, body language. As I said, when you are talking, it is important for you to understand how you can have a control over your audience by simply following certain gestures, certain hand movements, certain eye movements, and trying to have a good control over the place that you are in. It's very important when you're speaking to have an idea about your audience. If you see this figure here, it clearly shows you that what you are speaking is just 7% what audience is hearing. 38% is the lows, ups and downs, the highs of your voice, how you modify your voice, how you modulate your voice, how you make it interesting, how you have a pause that people pay attention. Why is there a pause? What is happening? What is going on? But major percentage is body movements. That is 55%. Body language plays a very, very important role how audience is interacting with you. Whether it's your face, because right now we are on virtual platform, so you can just see my face, my expressions. So I have to be very, very impressive and careful what I'm trying to convey. And that's possible only via the screen. But if you're on a bigger platform, if you're on a bigger stage, then we have the whole stage and we need to work on the stage, which will be coming and covering in the coming slides. So remember, guys, it's very important. Since it's 55%, you really need to work very hard on your body language. So just to see whether it's clear so far, I'll just see if you have any questions, if you have anything that you were not able to understand or you have issues, please, again, as I'm saying, use the chat window to ask the questions, and I can, just relate to them. I can answer it right there. It is very important when we are talking about yourself, you as a person. What are the things which are most important? What are the things which are most relevant when you are having a good body language? So in here, coming back to what we started with, I see that some of you are asking about, you can use the chat window to ask the questions. That's absolutely all right, guys. Yes. So as I see that some of you are using answering looking forward once again. Yes. So it is like just use the chat window to answer. That's why I stopped the screen. I'll again start going back. In case there are any questions, I will be seeing this from time to time, the chat window, and coming back to it. And then I'll go back again to the sharing of the screen in here. Okay. So once we know ourselves, once we have done a thorough self-analysis, we move on to the people. Who are the people with whom we are interacting? Who are the people with whom we are going to have the connection? And if you see, it's important, try to have an idea about where are you going to speak? Which is the platform? Try to have a grasp about your target audience. Like right now, I know you are here for public speaking. So more or less, since I can't see you, but with your interest, with your messages via mails as well as Eventbrite, I could have an idea what you're looking for. But if you are at a place where it's face to face, most of the times you get the information about the people because they know you, they understand, they know who is speaking, and they have certain expectations. So make sure when you are up on the stage, you are kind of owning the stage. Go naturally, but have a hang of your audience because you are seeing them. The moment you are up there, take a deep breath. Even if you have done thorough self-analysis, you have done your research very well, you know what you're speaking about, you have control over your senses, but still, when you actually face the audience, sometimes you could be like, completely numb, completely like, oh my God, so many people are watching me. So that should not bother you. Again, that should not bother you. Just count 10 and look at the audience. Look straight into the audience. Have a great eye contact. Maybe in some stages where it's the spotlight is on you and everything is dark, that's great because you see nobody and you start and go with the flow. But if you are able to see the audience, make sure that you're looking in all directions, straight, left, again in the middle, then again right, and then coming back. It's very important to have emotional connection with your audience, because when you're saying a joke, they're laughing. When you're saying something serious, you can see in the audiences, some people are crying, some people are having teary eyes. So make sure you go like a storytelling, or you can start. It's totally up to you how you want to start your your speech, whether you want to start with a story, whether you want to start with a question. It's totally up to you how you want to go ahead. So it's nothing wrong, it's just go gradually. Having emotional connection is very, very important, because that gives you an idea that you are comfortable. Yes, Amir, I see, ma'am, if stage is very big, how I can be working on the stage. Yes, we'll be coming to it. I'm coming to the venue also. I will be discussing when we are talking about the other P in over here. Shamila, yes, how does one create emotional connection? Of course, for emotional connection, Shalima, as I said, if you can see the audience, you see their reaction, like people are looking at you, they are not bored, or people are not on phone, because these days you see people easily shift on the phones, or they start watching time, or they go out, they come in. So basically, if you are in a real conference, you will definitely be able to have emotional connect by seeing them face to face and understanding what they're going through, whether they are with you or you have lost them. I think, Shalima, that will make much more clear. In case you see that people are on their phones, or they are a bit distracted, or they are talking to each other, or there's too much combustion happening in the room or in the conference room, that means you're not doing your work properly. You need to do something. Maybe crack a joke, say a story, go with the flow. When I say go with the flow, it means like change the topic instantly and then come back again, or maybe pick up someone in the audience. Hey, did you understand what I just said? Like just put the spotlight on someone else, so they will be like, oh my god. So that will make them aware, that will make them in with you. I'll just share like what I do sometimes with my students. Like, as I'm a teacher, in the class, I always try to make certain random answering of questions. Like, I just ask random questions to the people, or I give them random activity. You have to engage the audience, and that's what I say when I say have emotional connect. That means you need to engage the audience so that they are there with you, they are connected with you. And if you see it's not happening, that means they are drifting away, and you need to do something to get them back. Make sense? Does it make sense? Is it clear for you? Because if you don't write, then I will not know whether it's clear or not clear. So please keep writing in the chat window to make me understand that you're following what is being said or what I'm talking about. All right, then we move to the next one, which is the third P, power punch. How can you give a power punch to your talk? What are the ingredients that make any speech, from a lame excuse, from a lame speech, to something wow? What acts to the wow element? So in here, if you see right here, I have whisper and shout. In the extreme end, it's whisper and shout. It's like when you are talking and you want people to pay attention on something, you can talk slowly so that you see that they are trying to listen to you. And then gradually you can increase your voice. You can increase, or based on if you're showing excitement, hi guys, what's up? Okay, so it's excitement, people will pay attention. But if something you're talking about something serious, so you'll say, so many people are falling sick. There is so much compassion, there is so much unrest happening across the world. So have a serious tone. You need to change your emotions. You need to change your face on the basis of what you're trying to communicate or what you're trying to tell the audience. It should go in line. If you're happy, bring in the excitement. Show, this should go up. But if you're sad, this should come down. That is, you're calming, you're trying to come back, you're trying to make them feel it is important, but at the same time, it is something that they need to pay attention. Yes, Shalima, yes, how does one create emotional connection? Again, what I said is, on the basis of power punch, you know how to navigate your speech. It's like a navigator. If you are talking something, guys, how many of you can understand blah blah, like any topic? So create a suspense, create curiosity amongst the audience, and they listen to you. But if you're talking about food, everyone is passionate, everyone loves eating. So like, guys, I'm here to discuss about Indian cuisine. So automatically the audience is there with you, because then they can talk, they can understand what you're going to discuss about. Or if you're going to talk about cars, boys or men especially, they love cars. So then you are changing, you're navigating your speech on the basis of what you want your audience to pay attention to. If you're talking about, like, when I talk about emotional intelligence, you have to show authority. You have to give the power punch in terms of, this is me. I am going to be talking about emotional intelligence. How can you calm down? How you can have a control over what you're doing, how you're doing by yourself. So these four: authoritative, passionate, calming, and suspenseful, these are the ways which carry you in a flow, but at the same time, they provide the power punch which is required to make any speech impactful. Coming back again, because I think it's always important to have the connection, to keep on understanding, keep on seeing how you're understanding or what you're going through. I try to show the slides and then come and see what you're talking about. Hello, Hassan, you're from Bangladesh. Welcome, very warm welcome. Nidhi from India, warm welcome again to you. Now that we know exactly, since I'm not getting enough questions, a lot of people are not really asking questions. So that means I'll keep on going with the presentation. The moment I have questions, I will come back and again start, looking at and answering those questions. So when I'm presenting, make sure you can ask your questions in the chat window. All right. Okay, coming back to the next one is, after the third P is the pitch, the voice. How can you have a control over what you're speaking by your pitch, by your voice? So it's important, as I just said, if you're talking of something authoritative, only you know about it, go slowly and raise your voice at times. Because when we are pitching, we want people to pay attention. When you're talking about something funny, something which is like really involving people, go fast, go loud, make some noise. You can have some props, you can have some music, you can have something that makes the whole environment little cool down, little fun, little lighter. If you're talking about something authentic, again, it could be about culture, it could be about food, it could be about something which people like to listen about that particular country. Be slow and soft. I say slow and soft because it's something authentic. People want to listen and grasp it, reflect, and then speak, then understand. Because if you go quickly, they may not understand it, because not everyone understands other cultures or other things which are main in a particular culture. Anticipation, when you are trying to see that the audience is not paying attention, or when you see that there is so much commotion happening, you are losing your audience. So it's the time now to get them back. And that is only possible that you can make them come back to you and understand how it is going on in the room. So anticipate. When you see you're losing your audience, go fast. But at the same time, ask them questions so that they are back again with you. Okay. Then it's the place. So answering the question which I think Hassan had asked, how do I know, how can I overcome the, like the big stage? If the stage is big, how do I know, how do I overcome making it, covering the whole stage? It depends where you are speaking. And as I said, if you're speaking up on the stage, on a real stage, then it's important for you to have a grasp of the overall stage, own the stage, be there. If you are speaking on a on virtual network, like right now what we are using, like Zoom or Teams or any other platform like this, so then all you need to do is have a complete command over your face, have a complete command over the screen. Try to make it little fun, sometimes shift, like if you're on Zoom, even if you are the speaker, try to focus or put the stage or put the spotlight on some audience. Yes, tell me something about it. Like if I say, yes, Hassan, tell me something about this. Or if I say, hello, Dr. Sunita, how are you? So I am bringing you in the spotlight, so audience is suddenly there with you. So it's very important. In the first case, if you are in a bigger stage, Be familiar with the stage, how big the stage is. How much should I move? Should I move left? Should I move right? Should I be in the center? How do I stand? All these things are very important. So when I say know the layout, which means have a complete idea, like on the screen that you see, it's the TEDx platform where I had given my TEDx speech. So in the middle, you see there's a red carpet. And most of the times, TEDx speakers are supposed to be in the spotlight on that red carpet, not go too much left or not go too much right. But this is about TEDx. If you're in a general conference, or if you are in a on a stage giving on a panel discussion, have a complete idea so that you are comfortable. Because when we do public speaking, it could be you are the only speaker, you could be on a panel, you could be standing on a podium, so like you are well hidden behind it. So even if you are scared, yes, Hassan, as you're saying, how can I overcome the fear? Very true. If you are scared, you can be behind the podium, no one is actually seeing that you are scared. And what I share with my audience all the time is one mantra, which is called I know everything, audience knows nothing. So repeat after me, write in the chat window so that I can see that you are listening and you are there with me. I'm not alone here. I know everything, audience knows nothing. So even if you goof up, even if you forget something, even if you are not knowing about something, it's all right. You keep on going. Don't stammer, don't show fear, or if you feel your hands are shaking too much, just try to put your hands down side by side. Change your position, change the way you are standing. Like this, they don't really see you what you're going through. Energize the audience by saying a joke, by saying something like a personal thing, share your personal experience. Reach out to the audience. Sometimes if you need to bend and talk to them, they feel comfortable, they understand what you are saying, they are there with you. It's very important for the people to understand. When people don't understand you, or when people don't see you, they may be lost for some time. So it's important that own the stage, be with the people, and try to go with the flow. And it's only possible if you know your audience, if you know what your audience is going through, if you know how the audience is there at the same time and is constantly there, reaching out and talking to you. All right. After we have a hang of the place, I'll just stop sharing so that if I can see, I have some questions. Yes, it's very important for some people. There are some people, guys, could you please share? There are some people who are writing to me that they don't have the link to the, we are waiting, because there's some people that they're waiting somewhere. So if you could just share the links on your walls, or there are a lot of people from Bangladesh who are writing me that they don't have the link, some people from India. So guys, could you please share with your friends on your page, on your timeline, so that they can join in. It's Muhammad Amir Hussain, Arasu, you're not there. So please make sure you share the links so that more and more people can join and be with us, and we can answer and take the questions together. So as I was saying, it's very important. Once you have a hang of the place, once you have a hang of the stage, things start becoming better, because you might be a panelist, you might be the individual, the speaker who is a keynote speaker. So it all depends how you are going to own the stage. So right now, since everything is virtual, it's even important, even on the virtual network, don't have too many things as the backdrop. Don't have too many trophies or pictures. Keep it light and simple. Keep a good connection of light, good internet connection. Don't have too many pictures at the backdrop, because if you have things at the back, audience don't look at you. Audience is distracted. So it's important. It's again very important that you need to have emotional connection. You need to connect, and it's only possible when you are there with the audience, constantly looking and trying to answer, trying to focus on what they're looking for. Hello, Indrajit. Good to connect again. Yes. All right. So in here, now I'll again be sharing the screen to come back to what I was telling before. The other P, which is important in here, is your performance. The sixth P, your performance. Once you are there, once you know this is my stage, this is how I'm going to be, Own it. Start with a power pose. When we say power pose, it could be depending on what is the thing that you're going to talk about. Stand straight, your back should be straight, pleasant persona. Even if you're shaking, try to camouflage and think something positive. Maybe when you go up on the stage, for some time, close your eyes and just open when you see the audience. Once you're up there, count 10 and boom, you open the stage with a smile. You open your performance, you start your performance with a smile and open palms. It's important to have the palms like this and not like this, because if you have your palms straight, that means you are comfortable, you are going with the flow, the audience is there with you, they have not lost you, they are constantly focusing on your gestures. Again, have eye contact with the audience, doesn't matter whether it's virtual or real. Try to have audience connection, speak clearly. Now that you're performing, you are live, whether on stage or on virtual network. Keep it simple and natural. When you're emphasizing on something, you can even use your body language, bend down. If you want to emphasize or say something which others can reflect or think, step back. You don't have to be in the center all the time. You could be going left, you could be going right, and using the stage to maximum so that you understand what people are looking for and they are there with you. It's very, very important. As I said, keep your gestures and poses very powerful. If you are on the stage, it's very, very important to have a good clarity of your information and make sure that people are paying attention. Make sure you have powerful gestures, your expressions are going with what you are talking about. They are in sync in what you are talking about. That's very, very important. Then, when we talk about keep it natural, why do you think we need to keep it natural? Why can't we go a little bit unnatural or fake it? Sometimes some speakers say, fake it till you make it. So sometimes even that is important and it works wonders. When I say this, it's something like, even if you are shaking, even if you are not comfortable or you are bit nervous, keep faking for some time till it becomes natural. It's very normal. First 5 minutes, first even 10 minutes could be little difficult. But once you start speaking, once you start following the flow, it starts becoming simpler and easier for everyone. So just remember, do not be scared. Just try to be as natural as possible, because if you're natural, automatically you will enjoy and you will definitely go with the flow. It will make you much comfortable. You'll not feel that you are not comfortable or you are nervous. You will just go with the flow easily. And believe me, it's very, very easy, it's very, very simple. People will not understand that you are nervous or you're not able to go with the things as required. All right. Then when you're performing, as I said, it's important to understand how are you performing, what are the postures that you should take into consideration. When I say a closed posture, it is something that people don't like to see people who are having closed hands or any crosses, whether your legs are crossed or your hands are crossed, or you are trying to show nervousness, constantly you're putting your hands on your face or your hair, or fidgeting with your hands, like doing this. That's not at all okay. Make sure, if you are nervous, try to open up your arms a little bit more. Try to bring a smile on your face a bit more. Think, even when you're speaking, you know what you're supposed to speak properly, but keep on thinking something good, something wonderful, so that if you keep thinking that, it will reflect on your face and it will make you look confident. A closed posture, any kind of X, whether it's your hands, whether it's your legs, whether you're putting your hands at the back, shows that you are uncomfortable, you are nervous, and you're worried about something. So you definitely need to avoid it. You definitely need to work on it if you have this habit. What is a good posture? Any open posture, just as you see here in the picture, open arms, makes you feel confident, makes you feel comfortable. It shows that you're relaxed. Even if you are not relaxed, keep on thinking. That's why public speaking requires a lot of practice. Keep on thinking at the back of your mind, I know everything, audience knows nothing. Because only when you keep on saying that to yourself, you will get more and more comfortable. Believe me, guys, it is tried and tested technique. Lots and lots of my students have worked on it and they are enjoying it. They have really shown a great improvement in terms of speaking, giving presentations in the class, just by memorizing this in their mind, just by repeating this in their mind. I know everything, audience knows nothing. Because when you feel confident, once you know that I know it, then no one can stop you. You keep on going. Now, what are the challenges? This is what I had to give. This is what I had to share. Now, I'm here to take your questions to see if you have any questions, if you have any challenges, then we can discuss over it and make it comfortable, make it a little bit more fun for you. Yes, that's a very good question, Ahansur. What is a good gesture? A good gesture is, as I said, depending on what you are talking about, what you're speaking about. If you are speaking about food, if you're speaking about science, totally depends on what you're speaking about. Your gesture will change accordingly. You know, you can't be in the same gesture for long duration of time. So it's important when you are standing on the stage, like right now I'm here. So I've kept my hands like this. I'm talking. And at the same time, I'm moving a little bit. I'm not static at one place. So on the stage, if you are there, it's important that you are facing the audience. Maybe sometimes you have, as guys, you can have hands in the pocket, move around, take the hands out. Maybe when you're talking or illustrating about something, so your hand is up, like, you know, you're trying to show gestures. Or if you have a PowerPoint slide, you are looking at it and explaining. Don't show your back to the audience. That's very important. Sometimes when we are showing PowerPoint slides or when we are showing a presentation, we turn around. Don't do that. Keep constantly looking at your audience. And the gesture is like, you know, use hand movements, but not too much because it can be distracting. Yes, Azad, it's very important. As I said, if you have to connect, you will see that people are understanding it much more by working on their gestures. You can't be in a specific gesture for a long duration of time. It's important. Keep changing gestures. Just as we like flavors in the food, just as we like different things, same as when you are up there, audience wouldn't like if you're standing just at one place. So keep moving around a little bit. Come in the center, go in the left, talk to the audience, bend a little, then come back, then again go. Because you only come center stage when you're talking about something very important and you want everyone to look at you. But if you're talking about something which is good, which is meaningful, as well as something that audience would like to listen, shift your, you know, shift towards the left and then come to the center again. Don't keep on standing in the center, because that's a power pose, that you are impactful and you only come in the center of the stage when you need to create impact or when you need to emphasize on something very strong. All right, makes sense? Yes. Yeah, it's very important. Another thing which is very important, I agree, about the gesture is your eyes and hands. Because when you're standing up there, it is important for the people to see that you are with them, you are going with the flow. And only it's only possible when they are listening to you. Yes, they have to listen to you, they have to understand you. And keep on changing the gestures, because if you don't change gestures, people may or may not understand how or what you're emphasizing the most. So make sure that you emphasize on it. Make sure that you go and keep on talking about the important things which you want people to pay attention about. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I think there is a lag, so I'm not getting the question very quickly. I just see something small. Another Anwarazum Azad. Could you repeat your question? Could you please write your question, because I don't understand what you're talking. Hi Das Shapul, how are you? Good to see you here. Hello Answer, welcome back. Hi Nidhi. Yes. it's just great when people understand the things. It's just great when people understand what is being discussed, what is being talked. Because as I said, in public speaking, it's very important how you go about, how you emphasize on certain topics, how you emphasize on certain issues which are relevant. And as I said, it's very important for each one of us to keep on emphasizing, keep on talking and focusing. The fear, it goes with practice. Some of you just wrote that how can I overcome the fear. It goes in terms of you practicing in front of the mirror. Believe me guys, it does wonders. Mirror therapy is really great because you see, you understand yourself, how you are doing. So you see your impact, you're seeing your own reflection and understanding, oh, I didn't say very clearly, I need to work on it. Or, oh, I made an impact, I did very well, now I need to do on this. Nidhi, can you share some insight on fillers while speaking? Yes. Again, it depends on what you're speaking about. What is the content? Because if it is something very important, something very relevant, sometimes you have to make sure that you don't use too many filler words. You don't use too many fillers, because then the audience can be distracted and they lose attention. So it is important. It totally depends on what you're speaking, what is the content, and with the content you can choose when and how much you can do and how much you can avoid. Did I make it clear? It's is it okay? All right. And also other thing which I said is, for overcoming the fear, if some of you are on a stage where you have a podium, make sure you, I mean, normally it's not something good to be hidden completely behind the whole folder or behind the podium, but sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's nice, because you are hidden, you're just showing your body, and you can have some, papers or some, your speech or whatever you're talking about as keywords written in front. Don't have a paper throughout. Don't look at the screen, or don't look at your computer all the time, or don't look at your iPad, whatever. Because if you're looking all the time, then the audience loses attention. The impact becomes lessened, because you are not maintaining eye contact. If you're constantly reading, if I'm like this, I'm reading like this, it's not impactful. But if I'm talking to you, I'm looking at you, automatically it, even if we are virtually connected, I'm there with you. I'm talking to you straight eye to eye. So it's very important. The more you keep on going, the more it will come naturally, and you'll feel more and more comfortable. Thank you, Fahim. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Any other questions? Any other thing that you would like to know? I'm giving you some time. You can ask if there is anything else that you would like to know that's not clear, or that you would like me to again reflect on the speech, on the presentation that was not clear. Because of lag, sometimes I'm seeing the questions after a period of time, so it's not the same. Hello, Fahim, welcome back. So it's nice sometimes when you overcome your fears just by practice. In public speaking, the only thing that works best is practice, practice and practice. Try practicing, try working on your time management skills. Do not go too much, don't go overboard, because if you speak a lot, sometimes you lose the audience may not pay attention because you are constantly going on and on. So it's very important. Make sure that you have your audience with you. Practice the content very well. Even if you have rehearsed it like 10 times, 15 times, make it look natural. Do not make it look as if you are trying to remember or trying to go back to a particular slide. No. Try to make it natural, because only when you make it natural, people will understand it and people will be with you. They will enjoy your presentation. How can I do a better speech in any field? Well, Fahim, it totally depends. If you are comfortable in science, you will choose something related to science. When you say any field, normally you can't just talk on anything under the sun. You have to be speaking in something that you have complete idea, complete information. So it totally depends on you, what you know the best, what are the areas. Like if I say I speak on emotional intelligence, I speak on women empowerment, I speak on education. So these are my core areas. Anything and everything related to it, I can speak, but I don't say that all the time because there might be something I don't know. So to make an impactful speech, to make an impact as a speaker, it is important. Discover your key areas, discover your core areas. Once you know those core areas that I just told you about mine, you will be able to speak and make it better every time, because you will keep studying, you will keep reading, and that will help you as a speaker to make it natural and confident. Did I answer your question, Fahim? Does this make sense? Because it's important, you will only choose to speak on the topics that you know or you understand the best, right? Any other questions? Any other thing that is going on that you would like to know, that you would like to understand? Yes? Anyone else? Timing is going on very fast. I'm trying to see as well, like if you have any other questions. Yes. All right. So it's clear. It's clear. The thing is that, I'm getting some of the people again telling me that they have not been able to connect. Guys, I think it would be best if you could share the live video on your timeline so that they can have access, and if they still want to join, we still have few minutes, they can join and then they could be part of it. It's amazing, only when you ask questions you are able to understand some things better. If you don't ask questions, if you have your doubts and it keeps on going on, then of course I can't help you. It's important to be confident, to know what you're talking about. Keep on practicing, because practice makes man perfect. Even if I say I have been speaking for so many years, still, believe me guys, when I go on the stage, even I feel nervous. I feel nervous. I feel the adrenaline rush. I feel my heart go boom, boom, boom. But I try to keep counting and making myself feel comfortable. Once I'm approaching the stage, I take a deep breath and and repeat the mantra. I know everything. Audience knows nothing. So when you repeat that to yourself, automatically you will feel comfortable. And it is important, whatever you have learned, whatever key areas, whatever is your content, as I said, body language plays 55% of the impact. Body language is very, very important. What you're speaking, the content is also important. But if you show that you're forgetting something, or if you show nervousness, or if you show you're not with the audience has lost the connection, or you have lost engaging your audience, it's gone. You have lost them, you can't have them back. So it's very, very important. Keep the connection on. Ask silly questions, say a joke, start with a quote. You have to have your audience instantly with you, because if you start, guys, only you have first few seconds, 59 seconds, 1 minute to be precise, that audience either likes you or doesn't like you. So if you have your audience by sharing a quote, by sharing a joke, or by asking a question, or doing something completely unplanned, something which gives them a surprise your audience. So they are there with you. They are like curious. Oh my God, that was such a brilliant start. What next? So they are there with you. But if you don't do that in the beginning, little bit of a drama, you can say, or a little bit of something which is different than others, it's difficult to get them back. It's difficult to get them on the track. So just go with the flow. Try to be as natural as possible. Even if you forget, even if you lost track of something that you were supposed to do, it's absolutely fine. Keep going and don't stop. All right. What is your question? How can I be more focusing speaker in any seminar? What kind of major thinking I need for focusing? All right. So for that, it's important. You can focus on the topic that you are most comfortable with. Fahim, if you are comfortable speaking on sports, if you are comfortable speaking on your culture, Bangla culture, okay, so of course you will be able to do it much better because you know it the best. Even if I'm speaking over here, I may not know about your culture. So I would need your expertise. So if you have expertise on something, you can focus on that area, you can focus on the key things which are important and make the audience pay more attention. Start with something which like the audience doesn't know, so automatically they'll want to know about it. What kind of major thinking is required? Do a good research, do a good I would say study about what you want to portray, what you want to emphasize. Like if you're talking about culture, maybe there are certain things people don't know, the global world doesn't know. So surprise them, give them those things that make them feel, wow, I didn't know that about this culture, I didn't know about this country. Hi Hengema, how are you? Yes, that's what I was saying. Surprise your audience. It's very important. What is the difference between focus and performance? Very good question. Answer, Rahman. Very good question. Focus is when you're speaking, you need to focus on time. You need to focus on your audience. You need to focus on what you are saying, the flow. So focus is, don't lose focus, keep it going on. It's like a consistent approach that is happening. It's like a consistent thing that is happening in your machine, in the brain. Performance is when you're actually doing it, you are prepared with anything that can happen. Maybe the internet is not working, like you are supposed to start your Zoom call, internet stops. You are standing on the stage, suddenly the microphone is not working. So these could be the loopholes that can have an impact on the performance. So the difference is, focus is that you're focusing on the key things, your language, how to greet the audience, how to start what you're wanting to say, how to finish what you're wanting to say, how to conclude properly. These are all the things that you need to focus while speaking. So if I make you understand clearly, Rahman, focus and performance, they are happening like a simultaneous process. You are working on those key things and at the same time performing. You can't put it separate. You can't make it separate that first I need to focus, then I need to perform. No, it's happening simultaneously at the same time, depending wherever you are speaking. Is there any online resource through where we can improve English speaking skills? Of course, Saikot, there are lots and lots of online platforms where you can improve your skills. There are lots of, what do you call, self-paced learning skills also, self-paced platforms also, where you can go through to improve your skills, to improve your expressions. What are the ways that you can improve? I'll be sharing that on my page soon, so feel free, you can have it from there. Probably I can get in touch with some of the people who do it, so maybe I'll make them share, or maybe I'll call them sometime for a webinar session or a masterclass, so that you can directly get in touch with them. It's very, very common. It's very common. You can definitely improve on your English speaking skills and pronunciation, because even if you speak English, but it's very, very normal. People in Bangladesh speak in a different way. People in India speak in a different way. American English is different. British English is different. Australian English is different. Everyone speaks English differently. So what you need to focus when you're doing public speaking is how you open your mouth and how you say the words with clarity and conviction. That's very important. And keep a slight smile, not that you're smiling all the time and look silly. No, you can't do that. You can't take that risk. It's important, if you're talking something serious, go and show with the flow, go and show that emotion with the flow. If it is something fun, you can smile and make it a bit animated, right? So English speaking skills is one thing. Public speaking skill is little different, because public speaking you can be doing in your language as well. You can be doing in any language, standing up there and talking. The most important thing in public speaking is how you connect with the audience, and rest, it becomes magical. Because if you don't connect with the audience, then you will not be able to know what they're looking for, and you can lose them, and then it's very difficult to get them back, right? Fahim, there is some accent in the whole world. Yes, of course, the whole world has different accents depending on where you live. There's European accent, there's American accent, everywhere there's an accent. So you can't really work on the accent so much, even though these days people do work, they camouflage, they do it all the time. But what you need to work on is your skills about confidence, how you can be confident, how you can be speaking with conviction, and how you can be having instant audience connection. That's most important. How you can engage your audience, that they are there with you. Doesn't matter you're speaking for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, or 2 hours, or whatever time period. If it's a long presentation, like when we are saying public speaking, it could be like you're doing a seminar. Don't just keep speaking, because then it can become boring, right? Do some activity. Like right now here, I'm trying to engage with you, I'm trying to read your questions and answer those questions. But if you're doing this in a platform, in a live session, in a face-to-face session, do an activity. Have some activity, have some games which will make audience instantly with you, which I do when I have my Zoom sessions. Like this is like a live session, so in live sessions I can just answer your questions. But when I have my Zoom sessions, which are like, I often have my Zoom sessions which are like some of the paid sessions, there we make audience engage by playing games, by doing activities. Because when you do activities, you engage with them, and then you understand what are their key areas and how they can be improved. It's very important. It's very, very important, because when you leave the room, you should feel, I left with some information, I left with some value, something I'm taking with me. It's not that you have nothing here. And that only comes if you engage the audience and if you give them something as a return. It is something that they leave and they think, oh, today we learned 7 C's in communication, or today we learned 6 P's of public speaking. So I quickly want you to write what are the 6 P's that we did together. Let's see how many of you remember. Can someone remember what were the 6 P's that we did today? Any P that you remember? Let's see. What are the 6 P's that we talked about today? You can use the chat window to write what are the 6 P's. Any P that you remember? Yes, let's see. It's a small, quick thing to check whether you remember, whether you are still there or it's gone. It's not there, or you have forgotten. How can we practice public speaking at home? Saikor, that's a very good question. Very, very nice. Public speaking at home is possible with your, recording on your phones, recording on your TV, recording, your own way of speaking, and mirror therapy. You can definitely practice by using mirror. That's the best way, looking yourself in the mirror and improving. Mirror therapy definitely helps and makes people confident. And also by going through the key areas, like when you are at home standing in front of the mirror, you can see yourself very well. You can understand how you are standing, how you should not stand. If you're doing a presentation, virtual presentation, then you have to choose the place where you have good light, so that audience can see your face properly. You're not in dark, or you're not in a zone that they can't see or they can't understand. Test your microphone very well, just as you do it when you're doing a real presentation. Test that microphone is okay, you're able to hear properly, you're able to use the microphone properly, audience is able to hear clearly. Because sometimes we do everything but we don't test these small things, and then it's a mess. So make sure at home you can definitely practice with mirror, recording your own speeches, using your camera, using your phones, and then working on those challenges, working on those areas which you feel were not good, which you feel need to work even more to make it better. So guys, I guess that's it. Time is running out. We have already exceeded time here. If you have questions, of course, I would really want to answer. Yes, Engima, that's a very, very good thing. How does one get rid of arms, or whatever the filler words, basically? This question was asked before also. When we say filler words, it's important. Sometimes people need to work on certain things by counting themselves. So only when you record, when you're recording your speeches, or when you are doing like a voice memo, like you don't have to record the overall. Like if you want to improve on your face, on your body language, then it's better to go ahead with video recording. But if you want to get rid of your arms, whatever, when you are using such words a lot, count them. That's what we do. We count the words. Oh, I used so many times, I used so many times. So you will count it, and next time when you record, next time when you speak, you will be able to understand that, oh, I need to work a little bit more. Last time it was 10, this time it's 8, now it's 6. If you think it's going on again, that means you need to work on it once again. Yes, Imam. That does it make sense? It's clear. So guys, it's really important. It's really nice to have you as an audience. Thank you for being an amazing audience. Yes, keep recording. Like these days, we are able to do these things on our phones. There are a lot of other ways that you can record. You can have your own Zoom recording and see it, check it, because when you check your own recordings, you don't have to share it any place. It's just in your own, like your own records. You can work over it. Don't you think show more reality somewhere and true self? Yeah, of course, Aarti. That's very, very natural. If you're doing it like while thinking, like when you are thinking, it comes naturally. That's okay. But what Hingema was saying, I think, is like if some people are using lots of or saying well, like this, then it looks a little bit not okay. That means you need to work on it. Otherwise, it's very natural. Yes, I agree with you, Aarti. It's very, very natural that you have these ums and uhs which go with the flow and make the speech look natural. But if you have too many things or too many words which you are constantly repeating, then you need to work on it. Exactly. So guys, if you are not having any other questions, and I think the session was quite interesting with your flow of questions. Sometimes I think we experienced lag also, but we kept on going. We didn't let the technology hamper our ideas or excitement. We kept on going. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hingema. Always pleasure to have you on with me on different platforms, and we improve. We learn from each other and we keep on improving. Thank you, Aarti. Thank you so much. So it's great. Keep learning, keep practicing. The key to any public speaking is by practice. Keep on practicing, keep on giving new challenges to yourself. Mirror therapy is the best therapy. I do it. I still do a lot of times. Also, you can watch videos of other people, watch TEDx videos or best videos, like, best speaking videos of people. Then it's great. Yes, Saikot, that's a great mantra. I know everything, audience knows nothing. Exactly. So practice that, learn it, say to yourself, and you'll feel confident. And I was talking about the 6 P's, which are very important. So I'll quickly share with you the 6 P's on a last ending note so that you remember. And it is not gone. It's not something that goes with without you remembering it. It's very, very important for you to understand the 6 P's. I'll go back to the slide. This one. It's very, very important for all of you to understand the person that is you, the people, connection with the audience, the power punch, which is very important. You have to have a power punch while delivering your speech. Keep a hang on the pitch, when to go high, when to come down, when to keep it flat for some time. Give pauses when you're emphasizing on something, give pauses, and then again raise. Build the excitement constantly. Don't drag. Build the excitement. Keep the audience engaged. The place where you are, if it's on screen, if it's on the platform, on a stage, know your stage, know the layout of the stage very well. Explore the stage. Keep on moving so that you have a good connection with your audience. And of course, the last P, that is performance. You need to perform consistently and keep on focusing. Only when you keep on performing, only when you keep on focusing, you feel confident and you work on it every single day. So thank you so much for being an amazing audience. Thank you so much for enjoying and making me feel comfortable. Thank you for your questions. And I hope, I see you again for yet another masterclass in the coming future. So stay tuned. You know where to contact me. You can watch my videos on my YouTube channel. You can watch the videos, some of the videos on my professional page on Facebook. And if you have some questions, of course, feel free to contact me. I'll be very, very happy to help you and make you a better speaker, creating impact, creating things which people see visually and understand and make you feel comfortable. Thank you so much, Saikot. Take care. All the best. See you soon. Be safe, be healthy, and keep practicing social distancing, not emotional distancing. Practice social distance so that you're safe and you're able to fight corona, but be close to your loved ones, be close to your people, be close to your family, and keep going strong. All right, take care. All the best. Bye bye. Till the next time we meet.